Hi, I'm Selena, and today I'm going to do the stay-at-home book tag because we're all staying home, right? So the original creator of this book is Princess of Paperback. I'm looking at my notes. I have the questions written down here. But I saw Blonde Books do it, and I thought it looked fun, so I'm going to do it. Number 1, laying in bed. What is the book you have/could read in a day? Okay, there's a couple answers to this question. I think I'm gonna go with Coraline by Neil Gaiman. So this is a very short novella about a girl named Coraline who does not feel quite appreciated. She finds a door in her house and goes into another house, her house. This other house has other parents, and at first things seem better, but she slowly kind of realizes the sinister aspects of this other house with these other parents. I'm sure you've seen the movie or at least heard of the concept of this book. I was in a pretty bad, few months long reading slump where I wasn't enjoying everything I was reading to the fullest capacity. I wasn't listening to any audiobooks, so I was reading a lot less each month. And on a whim, I had saved this audiobook on my library, and it came in. And so I picked it up and listened to it, and I could not stop. I'm pretty sure I listened to it in a day. It was definitely within 24 hours. I was blown away by it. It was so intriguing. I highly recommend Neil Gaiman's audiobooks too. He narrates it, and he's such a good narrator, and they always have such a great sort of production value. And this book was just so kind of eerie and creepy at times, and just so interesting and so fun, and I loved it. It really got me back into audiobooks, and it really pulled me right out of that slump, and I highly recommend it. Highly. Snacking. What is a guilty pleasure read? I pulled these out because I know what it is. For me, it is the Shadow and Bone trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. These books helped me get back into reading so much. I stopped for a while in high school and the beginning of college. I read these books one summer, and because I found BookTube and people had these beautiful editions, and I read them and fell completely in love with not only reading again, but also this world and these characters. It felt like I had come home in a way. And I read them twice that year. I read them again in December. Soon after I reread them for the second time, I started realizing that people on BookTube were kind of hard on the series and don't love it as much as they either once did or as I thought they were going to, or as much as the Six of Crows duology, and I just didn't feel that. And so for a long time I tried to talk myself into rating them lower, which is stupid. Don't do that. When I really just enjoyed them so much, and I don't do that anymore. I unabashedly love the series, and I'm going to be rereading them this year in December too, because I just want to re-experience it and see if my guilty pleasure love is still there. Netflix. What is the series you want to start? Okay, so the next series that I'm going to be starting, hopefully soon, hopefully very, very soon, is The Witcher Saga. I'm going to be starting with The Last Wish. I really want to get to the series because of, one, the Netflix show, but also because it is fairy tale fantasy from what I've heard. It's based off of Polish folklore, which I am in such a fairy tales mood right now that just sounds amazing. And I want to be a part of the Witcher love. I want to know why everyone loves it, which is why I am gonna read it very, very soon. Number 4, Deep Clean, a book that's been on your TBR for ages. Okay, so I pulled this one off of my TBR for this month because if you don't know, I am trying to do this thing where each month I read at least one of the books that I've had on my shelf for a long time that maybe doesn't interest me as much, or I haven't picked up for that reason, and it's kind of old and has been there just sort of collecting dust, because I want to read those books and get rid of them if I don't like them. My pick for that for this month, one of them, is Wild Beauty by Anna Marie McLemore. I still don't know how to say her name. But this book is, all I know about it is a magical realism book about some women, I think, in a garden. And I'm excited, now that I've really put this on my TBR and committed to reading it, I'm excited to see what it's about and whether I like it or not. So I have high hopes for it, but it's been here for ages. I got it on one of my first, maybe my first ever book outlet purchase. This is getting read. real soon. Number 5, Animal Crossing, a book you bought recently because of the hype. I have just the one. A book that I bought recently because of the hype is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I was not interested in this book, and I wasn't interested in her debut, but recently I've seen a lot of people actually say they liked it, and I've really been wanting some more YA fantasy. I've been disappointed by a lot of YA fantasy in the past, and I've also really loved some pretty recently, and so I would like to find some more that I love. This one is, first of all, beautiful, and second of all, pretty hyped, and I know that a lot of people like it, and so I would really like to see if I like it as well. Productivity, a book you learned from or had an impact on you. Oh, it's already, well, I'll just use another copy because I have 5 copies of this book, and that, oh Lord, the glare. That's just gonna be a thing. I also got this used. Well, or I could just switch it out because again, I'm excessive. A book that I learned from is The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I never took French. I read this in English. This was my favorite book for 10 years. It isn't probably the number 1 anymore. It's definitely fighting for the position of number 1, but I love so many books that I don't think I can give it to just one book anymore. And I still love this book. It has shaped a good deal of who I am today. A lot of the morals and messages of this book I still carry with me to this day. FaceTime, a book you were gifted. That's a cool matchup. I mean, oh, okay. So recently, the most recent book that I was gifted is Dracula by Bram Stoker. Yeah, Bram Stoker. My boyfriend got me this for Valentine's Day because what you need on Valentine's Day is blood-sucking fiends. He gave it to me. Thank you, Mason. And number 8, self-care. What is a thing you've done recently to look after yourself? Spent a lot of time reading and purchased the Pride and Prejudice 2005 Keira Knightley movie, which I'd never seen. Yeah, I think that taking time for yourself to do things that make you happy, like watching Pride and Prejudice or reading books, is really important in times like this. And so that's what I've been doing to kind of help. And there's also a bonus question, which is an upcoming release you're excited about. The most close upcoming release that I'm excited about is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins, which is the Hunger Games prequel. I am tentatively excited about this one. I've said that before. I love the Hunger Games. I love Catching Fire. Mockingjay exists. And this book is going to too, and I hope that I'll love it. But the upcoming release that I'm most excited about for the whole year is Rhythm of War by Brandon Sanderson. Because I'm trash for Brandon Sanderson. Well, this has been the Stay at Home Book Tag. I'm Selena. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Take care of yourselves.